Okay, November and December in smartphones was mostly about flagships. We saw flagship smartphones with flagship processor. But honestly, who has 1 lakh rupees for flagships every year? Sorry. Manoranjan Bank of India. Now in January and the upcoming months, it would be all about mid-range of flagship killer smartphones, and this starts with the all-new POCO X7 series. And time again, we at TechWiser have said, I believe 80% of the people would be fine with a 25 to 30,000 smartphone. Now that starts off with the POCO X7 series. Now the POCO X series is always known to bring the best performance phone in the price range. This is the first phone in India to come with the all-new Dimensity 8400 Ultra, which is very interesting. And the rumored price of the POCO X7 Pro is under 26,000. So at that price, the question that has to be asked is POCO X7 Pro the best performance phone for the price? Moreover, they didn't have to do it, but POCO is promising good camera upgrades. We'll test that. Spoilers, it's probably the best mid-range launch from POCO. So Prateek, TechWiser, let's freaking go. Now, starting with the box, you get the phone, a soft silicon case, some paperwork, a SIM ejector tool, 90-watt fast charger, a Type A to Type C cable. Now an interesting thing is, this comes with a massive 6550 mAh battery. That's the largest silicon carbon battery this year. And phones have started to feel so light, like it's very hard to guess the weight. Let me try. It's about 200? Not even 200, 199. Like, I'm loving this big battery, lightweight phone era. Now, before we get to the performance, we'll be dividing this into two sections. First, POCO X7 Pro, and at the end, we'll talk about POCO X7. We'll leave the timestamp so you can easily watch it there. Starting off with the design, the elder brother, the POCO X7 Pro, looks like Sundar Sushil with a small vertical camera arrangement, whereas the younger one looks bold AF, like typical younger brother behavior. Now, surprisingly, the phone is very thin at about 8.06 mm, despite having that huge 6550 mAh battery, which we'll be coming to in the later part of the video. The POCO X7 Pro here has a glossy back, which attracts a lot of fingerprint, but it doesn't matter much because most of us would be slapping a case on it. Now, POCO has strong claims about its durability.
Drop test. Yes,
drop test. Let's go. Okay, let's do it. So suppose you're removing your phone from your pocket and it just falls. It's fine. Now all of this glass protection and all is good, but in real life you cannot predict a fall and you don't even get a warranty for this, so use protection. Now it also has IP68 plus IP69 rating, which is not common in this price range. So if your phone accidentally drops in the bucket or you happen to be in the midst of a holy war, it can survive that. And when you flip the phone, on the front, you get a 6.67-inch 1.5K flat AMOLED display. I was watching the Border Gavaskar Trophy early morning. The display is quite bright. I like the display quality, but the test match defeat still hurts. The display is quite bright. Also, it supports Dolby Vision on Netflix. So if you have a top tier account, you can enjoy HDR content and share the password so that I can also watch movies in HDR. Now, while I was daily driving the phone, even outdoors, reading articles, scrolling through reels while waiting for the cab to arrive, the display outdoors is pretty visible. The POCO X7 Pro has 3200 nits peak brightness, which is an upgrade compared to last year. Now, as we said in the intro, POCO does not only promise upgrades in performance, there are also upgrades in the camera as well. The POCO X6 Pro came with a main ultra-wide and macro camera, but this time with the X7 Pro, it comes only with a main and ultra-wide angle camera. The main camera also has a slightly bigger sensor and wider aperture. I like in 2025 now that smartphone makers have stopped putting those triple, 4 camera, 5 camera just for the sake of it. And again, coming back to the phone, if you see the photos in the daylight, there has been improvement from last year. The colors and light control here is better. Even the skin tones have come out good here. Now in portrait mode, the edge cutout sometimes is a hit or miss, but when you go to low light performance, the pictures come out bright. Like, the pictures are good for the price.
And in terms of videos, you can shoot maximum at 4K 60 FPS, and this is how the video and mic quality is.
And on the front, you get a 20 megapixel selfie camera, and here are some selfies from it. Now on the front, you can only shoot in 1080p 30 FPS. Like, I mean, isn't it 2025? See, overall POCO X series are not known for having one of the best cameras, and I wasn't expecting anything special this year, but I'm happy that POCO took the feedback and has made the cameras better. Okay, but all of this is good. What about the software? Now, this was a surprise. The POCO X7 Pro is the first phone in India to come with HyperOS 2 based on Android 15. Now, what are the major changes in HyperOS 2? 3. Number one, it revolves around not just animation, but smooth animation. For example, the app opening and closing animation, if you compare it with the HyperOS 1, see, it looks buttery smooth. The same bouncy animation happens when you pull down the control panel. Next is, see, if I pull down the notification panel in HyperOS 2, there is a small bouncy animation, and when you swipe back up, See, the clock size goes from big to small. In settings in HyperOS 2, the options are grouped in cards. Now, the second feature would be interconnectivity. So suppose if you have another POCO device, you can access your phone right from the tablet without even touching your phone. So you can answer calls or everything from the tablet itself. Third, HyperOS 2 is based on Android 15. So you get features of Android 15 like theft protection and all the other features. Now, what I was interested in was the AI features. Now you get new AI features like AI expansion. So I have this group image over here, and now if I hit on image expansion, it has done almost a good job, except it has glitched a bit in generating the shoe. Other than this, it can also translate calls. It can even remove reflections from images. Now, apart from those features, there are some pre-installed apps, and if you don't use them, well, you know the drill. Now, coming to the most awaited part of this phone, performance. Now the POCO X7 Pro comes with the all-new MediaTek 8400 Ultra, and there is a big change under the hood. Don't worry, we'll explain it in very simple words. So earlier processor used to have one prime core, which is like a Ferrari. It can go as fast as anything, but takes a lot of petrol. Then the performance cores are like SUV cars, which are not as fast as Ferrari, but it can easily travel in hilly and normal terrain with better fuel efficiency. And at last, the efficiency cores, which are like bikes. It would go slower, but will give you good mileage. But they are not as fast as Ferrari or SUV. So now, all processor companies have removed these bikes or efficiency cores from their flagship processor. And the same is the case with Dimensity 8400 Ultra as well. There is no efficiency core. It's all performance. The processor here ain't chill, and this is probably the first time any company has done it in mid-range processor. Now in terms of AnTuTu, it scores over 16 lakhs. Now we switch to high performance mode and everything, but this score is still closer to Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. 8S Gen 3. Again, we ran the CPU throttling benchmark and the graph here is all green. Now, enough benchmarks. We know it's a powerful processor, so it will score more. But what about battery drain? What about real life gaming performance? Well, we went all in. We played BGMI, COD Mobile, COD Warzone and Genshin Impact. In BGMI, you can play at 60 FPS, smooth graphics, and then I played it daily for 30 to 40 minutes. The average FPS we were getting was around 58 FPS. Now we played COD for 30 to 40 minutes, and in this medium graphics, we can play at 120 FPS, and the gameplay here was super smooth. The average FPS that we got was around 90 FPS. Now we also played COD Warzone for 40 minutes, and at the start of this entire exercise, the phone was charged full to 100%, and after 3 to 4 hours of gaming, the battery drop was only 20%, like it ended up at 80% battery life. Now I didn't get much time to play Genshin Impact daily. I played it for a day or two for about half an hour. Now I kept all the settings to the highest, and in our gameplay, we got an average FPS of 59.6. So in my usage, the performance here was definitely crazy for the price. I was really amazed by the efficiency and battery drain. Now the POCO X7 Pro has a 6550 mAh battery, and in my usage of heavy gaming daily for 3 to 4 hours, watching content and scrolling through social media, by the end of the day, I was easily left with 40% on a heavy usage. So the battery can easily last 2 days on normal usage. And speaking of charging, the POCO X7 Pro supports 90-watt turbo charging, which can put the phone to 100% in about 45 minutes. Now, before we head to the conclusion, let's quickly have a look at the POCO X7. The POCO X7 has this square camera island. The POCO X7 also feels quite light on the hand. It weighs around 190 gram, and this is very light considering it has a 5500 mAh battery. And coming to the display, it has a 6.67-inch 120Hz curved display, and just like the elder brother, the display here is equally bright. Even in outdoors using maps or scrolling through reels and shorts, no problem. Now in terms of camera, it comes with the same main camera sensor LYT600, and the pictures from the camera here are decent. In videos, the main camera can shoot in 4K 30 FPS, and from the front camera you can shoot in 1080p only. For performance, the POCO X7 comes with MediaTek Dimensity 7300 Ultra. In BGMI, you can play at 60 FPS but with smooth graphics. In terms of battery and charging, it comes with a 5500 mAh battery and supports 45 watt of turbo charging. Now, so far it might be looking like, wow, nice. Like, these are actually good phones, and I would not disagree. That's right. In 2024, one of the major trends was AI features. It's good to see that HyperOS has added most of those AI features, and I have good hopes from HyperOS 2 going this year, 2025. I hope to see much more features, much more AI, and that MIUI thing should come back. The POCO X7 Pro comes with HyperOS 2, and the POCO X7 comes with HyperOS 1. Like, why? But I'm hopeful here. Like, the feedback POCO got from us and the community on X6 series, well, they have implemented most of them in the X7 series. Now, POCO phones are generally known for having like really good performance, but here if you see, there's good IP rating, there's good glass protection, there's good battery, display, overall good phone. And again, it's good to see that the POCO X7 Pro has come with HyperOS 2 instead of HyperOS 1, and I see a lot of potential in HyperOS. So to answer the question that we had in the intro, I feel yes, POCO still holds the crown, or the POCO X7 Pro still holds the crown for the best performance in this price range. I don't think they needed to go this hard on this phone. So as of now, the POCO X7 Pro for the price seems like a good deal, but let's see what the competition brings. The POCO X7 series will be available on Flipkart on 14th Jan. Now we just got to know that the POCO X7 will be priced at 19,999, including bank offers and everything, and the POCO X7 Pro will be priced at 24,999, again including bank offers, everything. Let us know what are your thoughts on this one. On that note, this will be signing off. See you in the next video. Pew pew pew.